Okay, Brent from TradeGuild.blogspot.com, and it's actually the 28th now, 12:30 in the morning, and we're looking at the price information for the 27th of February 2007. Brent from TradeGuild.blogspot.com. So we're going to take a look at a couple examples, a couple stocks that were featured either on the main blog or on the tag board off to the right. So if you haven't been to our blog before, we have a tag board, which is like a live chat, and I'm there generally part of the day anyway, answering some questions. We have a lot of great traders there throwing out ideas and answering questions and bouncing ideas off each other, so it's really cool. So let's take a look at RIMM, and somebody on the tag board, I can't remember who, brought this, and I thought it looked like a pretty decent short, so that was before we knew about this meltdown. So let's take a look. I'm going to pull up 3C because that's pretty much what I'm using nowadays. And, there's the high in the indicator, which is in gear with price. A little higher high, higher high, higher high. Everything's cool. Over here, we kind of go sideways. It pulls back. That's okay. It's pulled back a little deep because it's actually penetrated this area. But then we have the next attempt over here at a high, and it's really moving back now, the indicator. So we're negatively divergent at that point in early January. Finally, on this low, it pulls back all the way to here. So it's it's way back here with the readings from August. So it's very negatively divergent. Let me clean this up. And then we get a breakaway gap up there, and you basically have the indicator way down here. So big negative divergence. At this point, I would switch over to that hourly time frame. We take a look at that, and we're looking at that same information. There's that pop-up, that breakaway gap I was talking about. And on the hourly, you can see it looks a little different because we're looking at a different time frame. But again, we have the high in price, the high in the indicator, which is, from this point, it's in gear on this time frame. And we see the pullback, which is a little deep, but that's okay, and it's moving up. And then we have a higher high in price, but of course the indicator now has got that lower high. So negatively divergent. To me, this is a sell sign or a short sign, and certainly when we get this pop up, this breakaway gap up, and the indicators really failed at that point, it's just a screaming short in my opinion. So that's what we called it on the tag board, a short. I think the 26th, maybe the 25th. At this point, we can take a look, even at the 5-minute information, and you can really fine tune and tweak that entry because you can see it's in gear. There's the end of that pop up. It's actually moving higher, and the indicators, moved real low. So that made that a short in my book. And as far as what's going on now, we can take a look at the 1-minute chart real quick. It looks like, let's see. Well, it looks like it's probably going to try to bounce a little bit more. Over here it's almost flat where price has been moving down. So that's a relative positive divergence. And that's the 1-minute time frame. It's popped up, it's pulled back a little bit. So maybe there's room for a little bit more. But, that's a 1-minute chart. So you're looking at a day trade there. Let's see what we got next. HWCC was actually on the blog Monday morning as a short idea, and I'll show you why here real quick with 3C. There we go. And we're going to look at the daily chart first. You can see negative divergence right there. Price has made a higher high, and the indicator's lower, negative divergence. That's a short in my mind. If we want to try to get into that and fine tune it, we can look at the hourly chart, and there again, and confirmation on all 3 time frames is great. So here you can see this is really nasty. I mean, it's just moving down as price is moving up. So especially over here where it's reached that high and the indicator's already moving down, that's a big time short in my book. And here's the 5-minute chart. The information that we were looking at would have been over here, basically on the 26th. You can see even on the 5-minute, you have that same bias. Interestingly, the pullback didn't create a very deep pullback in the indicator. So possibility there of HWCC bouncing, and you can see already, let me zoom out this way, you can see already that negative divergent or positive divergence it's formed as price was heading down, and that's produced a little bit of a rally already. That rally now is negatively divergent, so presumably that 1 minute time frame rally is going to start to pull back on HWCC. Let's take a look at another example, because I have a lot of people out there with this indicator right now. Here's VICL. This is one I entered today, and I'll show you why real quick. You can see I'm pretty much not even looking at the rest of the chart anymore. This indicator's just worked out really good. So in VICL, we see everything was in gear. It's in gear on this pullback. It's pulled back over here. It's pulled back over here. We're going to basically just go ahead and take a look at the hourly to kind of fine-tune what's going on here. And you can see on the hourly, as price is headed down, this indicator is starting to flatten out. So that's a relative positive divergence. On the 5 minute, let's see what we have here. Okay, on the 5 minute, you can see the lows that were created in the indicator over in here and here. We have a significantly lower low over here, but the indicator is actually higher. So that's a positive divergence, suggesting to me that we're going to see a possible move up. And if we take a look at the tick information, let's see if I can get that up. There we go, tick. Okay, and on the tick information, you can see again, as price has been moving down over here, there's that indicator moving up, and it's in a leading divergence over here now. So, you know, I bought this one today, probably around 2 o'clock or so, VICL, and hopefully it's going to have a nice move tomorrow. One other one, let's take a look at GRZ, and gold is actually one of the groups that I've seen a lot of 3C movement in. It looks like they're moving into gold. If we take a look at this one on the daily, you can see it had a negative divergence up here, which produced this pullback, which started, you know, before today, obviously. If we take a look at the hourly, though, you can see that even though price has been trending down, this indicator is starting to move up, and I think maybe you know, gold is being seen as a safe haven, and maybe that's a little bit of what we're seeing here. Again, price in green has been moving down, the indicator's been moving up, so it suggests to me that GRZ is a potential long candidate if you like it. Another one that I like, this is highly speculative, this one, BPG, and I like this one. I didn't enter it today because of margin issues. You know, it didn't make sense for me, but we're looking at a daily right now, and on this daily you can see it's moved up, it's moved up, it's moved up. You know, price is moving down, so there's 1, 2, 3 divergences. It produced a nice rally, and it's in a leading divergence now. So even though price is pulled back over here, it's in a leading divergence. Take a look at that hourly chart. You can see the pullback basically in gear, and as price continues kind of down and a little bit sideways, this indicator's moved up, and it's now in a leading divergence over here. So in my opinion, I think BPG is a probable decent long position. Again, there's that very positive divergence that is working on 3C. Let's see, what else do I have for you? There's been a lot of talk, a lot of questions about ANDs, and this, you know, I don't know if this was a mistake or what, but you know, the indicator basically, you know, we had the high here, a little pullback over here, and getting into the hourly, that's kind of where it got interesting, because you could see it was making these wild swings, but it was making higher highs in the indicator, and these lows were actually starting to move up. So I was kind of thinking I was going to keep this and see what happens with it. I thought maybe we'd have a better outcome by now, but you can see on this 5 minute chart, and this is one of the reasons I kind of added to this position. I don't usually average down losers, but it started to move into divergence, positive divergence. So hopefully ANDS will rally up. So that's it for this video. Check out SVN, that looks interesting too. I'm going to post some other ideas on the blog, so check them out, and I'll see you tomorrow.